Peter Obi caught us unawares. Bola Ahmed Tinubu finally confesses, yes, Peter Obi is an hurricane. He came into Labour Party, swept from the southeast down to the southwest. This is serious. I mean, come on, this is serious. Now, the panic is really about what is going to happen. What is going to happen soon? You know what I mean? The elections. The elections is just right there. Will Lagos State be given to Labour Party and many other states? Well, let us find out from one of the spokespeople of APC. He has a lot to say. This confession will shock you. Strong confession. Do not forget to like and share this video. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you're new here.
Well, we're not particularly too surprised at the hurricane that swept our electoral fortunes, natural electoral fortunes in Lagos 2 weeks ago. We recognize the factors that accounted for that slight low performance.
Can you share some of the factors with us?
Yes, basically, first of all, our children are still smarting from the events of NSAS. The Muslim ticket thing got Peter Obi to, actually rode on the, religious factor to power. I mean, he wanted to ride on it to power. So he was hopping from church to tell them, take your country back, as if though the country really belongs to the Christians and somebody took it from them. Wrong politicking, if I must say, but those were. So the Christians started to feel as if, okay, we must vote out a Muslim, and we must not allow a Muslim ticket to hold. That worked against us, particularly some churches actually, came very hard on their members, actually, telling them do not vote for X or Y. So that, worked against us. The tribal, factor. Obi played a tribal politics, and that again worked against us. The Igbo community came together, in one block and gave their vote to Obi. Those three factors worked against us considerably.
So how do you think you would fare this Saturday?
Oh yeah, this Saturday is a different kettle of fish because we were caught unawares to a large extent. It was an insurgence upon our political stability and fortress. They actually came without us actually expecting. Now that they have done it, we're now very much awake, and we now know where and what to do to ensure that a repeat of such calamity does not happen. Why do I call it a calamity? People do not even understand. People do not understand the enormity of what it will be for Labour Party to win Lagos State. And I want to use this opportunity to explain, a lot of things. Now, there's a secessionist group called IPOB, prohibited, which the federal government of Nigeria had prohibited. They have but they are still operating very, very, actively in the East, to the extent that a certain day of the week is a no-go, no outing. The whole place is a holiday, and everybody has, and lot of killings, burnings, everything happening in the East. There was never a time that Peter Obi spoke against IPOB. And the kind of political fortunes, electoral fortunes, Peter Obi recorded in the East is an indication that IPOB worked for him.
Now, that's a strong one. IPOB, Biafra, Eastern Security Network, worked for Peter Obi. This is the claim that this man is positing. And, well, you see, it is not in tune or in line with the man who is in Finland, who claimed that Peter Obi is of no use and that Biafra is the only solution. I'm talking about Simon Ekpa, who took over the reins of power, or let's say continued in the footsteps of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, who is presently in the custody of the departments, the State Department Service, DSS, SSS. Now, he went on to talk about the next gubernatorial election, and the focus right now is on Lagos State. Lagos State being a, are you going to call it a cosmopolitan or whatever. What I'm just trying to tell you is that Lagos is a state where it's so unique. You have a lot of tribes in Lagos. Lagos is a Yoruba state, and somehow, somewhere, they open up their doors and they have been welcoming. Now, I'm sure you must have heard the narrative, Lagos is no man's land. Well, for those who repeat this, they might have their reasons for it. But Lagos, in truth, in reality, is Yoruba land. And a lot of people, different tribes, join hands together, either for good or for bad, to at least add something. So it's either they're adding value or reducing the value of Lagos State. About this man who they are tagging Igbo boy, Omo Igbo. I'm talking about Chinedu Gbadebo, who is actually Labour Party governorship candidate. Well, let us hear what he has to say about this.
I'm against playing tribal cards. It will destroy the stability and unity of Nigeria.
But it has been used as the
But the truth of the matter is that we need to get, you see, there are times you avoid speaking about situations. And there are times you speak frontally to situations with a view to attempting to solve problems. See, my point is very simple. I am not against any Igbo man trying to be governor in Lagos. I am not. Igbos are our brothers.
But let me give you let me
before this time, Igbo men have been commissioners in Lagos.
Right.
There's no problem about it.
Okay, speaking of this Igbo man, which Igbo man are you discussing, and why is that the topic of discussion when it comes to governance of a city that is cosmopolitan? It has Igbos, Yorubas, Hausas. They've been living here for decades. Why is that the thing that is being focused on when we have a cash situation? We have bad roads, just like you said, NSARS is we have so many issues to discuss. We only have a couple more days, but this rhetoric keeps getting pushed down our throat. And it seems that those who are educated do not want to entertain such. So is there anything other than the tribalistic sentiment that the parties have against the opposition? What else does APC bring to the table in order to help the lives of Lagosians, whether or not they are Yoruba or if their mothers are Igbo or not?
Awa?
Yeah.
That's your name, I guess. Yes, I know, that's your name. Do you think there's any state in this country that is more developed than Lagos?
I would.
Obviously, I know there's none. If you don't know, I know. There is no state in this country. Lagos is the 5th largest economy in Africa. There are too many things in Lagos that are not anywhere else in West Africa.
So why aren't we discussing the economy?
Lagos is a smart city.
Why aren't we discussing the economy?
Exactly. Development of Lagos is not in question. Lagos has been developing at a high rate since 1999.
A lot of people would actually disagree with you.
There's no need. Anybody can disagree. The statistics are clear. Well, people can disagree. Tell me which state in Nigeria generates 51 billion a month as internally generated revenue. Tell me one. None. There's no need to tell me. There's none.
How has it affected the residents?
How has it not? Tell me one state. Is it road network you want to talk?
Traffic we are talking about.
Do you know?
Is it the issue of the gangs?
Traffic. Why do we want to use traffic? Why do we want to use traffic?
Sir, I think it would be easier for the viewers if we would talk one at a time.
We're debating. We have turned into a debate. So let's debate. No problem. I'm a debater.
No, but it's
But what I'm saying to you is that people look at issues from different angles.
Right.
People who are in opposition, they will see development as a retardation. Because I can't see why anybody would feel that Lagos is not developing just because he's in opposition and he needs to whittle down the ruling party.
Well, in reality, this is what opposition does. They try to sink hole in the ship of the ruling party, and this is how it works, vice versa. But let us be very sincere. Let us look at the truth and the reality of it. Who is going to bring the right food to the table? Very important. Now, there are still more talks, and this borders on what happened during the presidential election. Are we going to see the repeat of the same all over Nigeria? Or let us focus on Lagos State. There is a machinery in Lagos State called thugs, Agbero. They do and undo. They can kill, they can steal, they can destroy. There is nothing that they cannot do for their boss. We know what this is. And this has been kept alive in Lagos State. Agbero system kept alive in Lagos State. This is also a bone of contention. This is also something that has, it has created this concern, a very big one. Let us hear what he has to say about this one.
Criminal gangs, issues of criminality, things that make ordinary Lagosians upset and terrified. Is this something that the APC is working on to quell actively, seeing as they have been in government for a while and this situation has gotten out of hand?
I'm sorry, I really didn't get exactly what the question you asked me. But I sense you're talking about insecurity, is that?
Yes.
Insecurity in Nigeria?
No, Lagos,
in Lagos
particularly
State?
with the touts, dismantling the electoral,
popularly called Agberos.
dismantling the electoral process. We know that
You mean-
voting is supposed to be on Saturday.
Yes.
We've had issues with ballot box snatching, etc. People.
Is it only in
being
Lagos or
intimidated.
generally in
Well,
Nigeria?
we're just dealing with Lagos. Sir.
Okay,
just
so
for
fine.
Today.
There is no,
Just
you
for
see,
today,
you
we're
see, the
dealing with
security, you see,
Lagos.
just like the governor said a couple of days ago, there are issues about security that are within the purview of the governor. There are some that are not within his purview. For instance, when there are security challenges, what the governor requires to do is to alert the authority, to call out, to find means and ways of quelling, all of that. But of course, we all wish for a smooth electoral process, smooth elections. And whatever it is, if you allege here that the Agberos are the ones causing confusion, electoral confusion in Lagos, I am convinced that the government of Lagos will work on that and ensure that the Agberos do not disrupt the elections.
Okay,
The disruption of the election does not work well in anybody's favor.
Well, the elections will determine. Everyone knows the reality of living in Lagos as a Lagosian. Everyone knows this. And on Saturday, the election, like I said, the votes will determine what the people want, if they want to continue. Now, before we proceed, because you're still going to hear more, we have to also take note that Lagos State is highly populated, overpopulated compared to other states. Very important. Very, very important. You cannot go to Anambra or go to some other states, and Lagos State is highly populated. There is a lot of load on Lagos State. Talk about the roads, so much workload on the roads and many other. It is not easy as we think it is. But Lagos State is still thriving. It is still thriving. But that does not mean that there aren't some people who are just mopping the money, putting it in their own pocket. Let us hear more.
I'm a Lagosian.
On Saturday.
And the decision they will make is to vote in
one of the privileged Lagosians. Meanwhile, I want to ask you, are you afraid that there will be low voter turnout during the governorship election due to what happened during the presidential election? Awa talked about violence, ballot snatching, late arrival of INEC officials, INEC's inability to electronically transmit the results of the presidential poll. Are you worried that this might affect your party, or could it benefit your party?
No, look, there will not be low turnout on Saturday. There will be high turnout. And the turnout will be different from what we experienced during the presidential elections. That I can guarantee, I can tell you for free. Because the governor of Lagos has done so well that the cracks in the wall of our electoral interests, we have mended a lot of fences. So we knew where the problem was from, and we had done quite a lot within the short time to ensure that we had made up with those problems. And I can assure you that Saturday will be totally different from what we saw 2 weeks ago.
Well, you heard it all. It eventually wanted to result into a debate. But that being said, that's to let you see and know that what people are asking for now is different. They are not interested in Bola Ahmed Tinubu, interested in this APC PDP thing of they are tired. In fact, this government, this regime of Buhari made it difficult for people to entrust their life, entrust anything with Bola Ahmed Tinubu. or APC. That's the truth. That's reality, because Buhari made sure that he messed it up and people don't want it anymore. And they have seen it all. They are not interested. They are not looking down at Bola Ahmed Tinubu, but they are looking at his age and many other things. They say, look, man, you have done what you needed to do for yourself. You've performed excellently in some parts. We know that you have kept much of the money in your own pocket, but now we want a change. We want a change. They're not even talking about we want young people anymore. They're talking about integrity. They're talking about moral values. But with all of this that we have said, I've come to realize something, that if we do not have a strong, robust system, I'm talking about the rule of law, which is what differentiates working countries and countries that are not working. It is the rule of law. It is an intangible asset that if held on to, the rule of law, that law is above everybody. Nobody is above the law. That's just it. Once that can be cleared and be done with, I'm telling you, you will have a system where even if you have a dumb, foolish person as your prime minister or your president, things will flow and the system will vomit that person out because that person does not fit into it. What are your thoughts about this one? Let us meet at the comment section below. Don't forget to like and share this video. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you're new here. See you in the next one.